Hello there. In this part of the tutorial, we're going to be looking at the validate method of our validator class. The validate method looks at all our validation rules and get the rule for each field. So it's going to look at these validation rules and get the rules for each field. So it's going to say, okay, the name is required, the age is required, and then it's going to go to the data array and say, okay, what value do we have for the name field and what value do we have for the age field, and then based on the rule we want to call a relevant method and pass the value that we have here as a parameter. Okay, so for the for the required rule we want to call the validate required method, and for the number rule we want to call the validate number method, and we're going to append the word validate to the rule name. Okay, and yeah, that will give us a relevant method to call. And yeah, before that gets confusing, let me actually demo it in code. Okay, so we want to loop through all our validation rules for each validation rules as field So here we're looking at our validation rules and we're getting the rule for each field. Okay, and what you want to do next is to get the value for each field. Okay, and fields value is equal to, gonna call the get field value method as a parameter, and want to pass the name, the field as a parameter. Okay, so what this does now is it gets the field, then it goes to the data array and checks, okay, what value do we have for the name, what value do we have for the age, whatever we have, whatever we have, it stores it in this variable. Okay, and let's actually define the code for that method. What this will look like is it's gonna return whatever is at this given index. So you guys know how to get a value from an array. I know I'm not explaining this correctly, but you guys understand. So this, if the field, if we pass name here as parameter, this will return error. If we pass age, this will return 34. Okay, and okay, now the second step in our validate method is to call a method, a relevant method based on the rule name. Okay, and the way we're gonna do that is gonna say method to call, as we want to append the word validate to the rule name. Okay, since we have two rules here, we have required and number, this will give us validate number and validate required. Okay, and then we want to call that method this method to call, and we want to pass the value, sorry, the field value. All right, and want to say if this method fails, we want to, for testing purposes, what we'll do for now is we'll echo the validation fails for, and then we want to display the field. The validation fails for whatever field the validation failed for. Okay. Okay, so if now say we pass a string here, the validator will fail obviously, and if we pass an empty string here, the validator will fail. But we need to have some code here in the validate required. Okay, actually for now we can just leave yeah, we need to have some code here and here. Okay, let's write some code for validating required fields. Sorry. So we want to say the value must not be empty. All right. And the number, I'm not sure. Let's actually Google the code for validating a number in PHP. Yeah, it's numeric. Okay, return is numeric value. Okay, so yeah, since we have some code on our validate methods, then we can go ahead and test this. Right now it shouldn't fail because the age is a number and the name is not empty.